Boris declares war on fat, PM ditches his nanny state worries and demands action plan to tackle Britain's obesity crisis after blaming his severe bout of coronavirus on being overweight. When mom goes on a diet, the whole family goes on a diet. Nothing like personal experience to change an opinion. Sometimes it's a good, sometimes bad. Good on him for recognizing it. It's better to learn from mistakes than to double down. What website covers the entire screen with the comment section before you even have a chance to read the article? It's pretty sad that a major world leader just didn't get things this much until it personally affected him. At least he's recognizing his mistakes though. I never thought I would agree with Boris as much. I have found myself doing so in the last week. He has seemingly done a 180 on so many issues since his recovery. Global warming, supporting the NHS, socialist financial support programs, sugar tax/tackling obesity. If he keeps this up, he will end up being thrown out by his own party. Why on earth did you link directly to the comments on the article? The hashtag comments 8321793 at the end of the URL. On mobile, this brings up a comment frame that completely obscures the article text. I have heard numerous times from many people that near-death experiences can change a man's way to look at life. Maybe that's what Boris is going through? Or it just may be a standard politician's way of distracting its population. But I am really leaning towards the former for now, which would be refreshing to watch for the next few weeks/months. Ha ha ha. Oh shit, he is serious. Good for him, good luck. Declaring war on something is such an American way to announce something. It's called sugar/carb tax of 2020, aka unfattening. I seriously wish people were more willing to say how we could fix obesity rather than a Reddit thread of people repeatedly saying fat people unhealthy blay. Yes, being fat is unhealthy, that is established and always been established. The question is, how do we solve obesity? Maybe creating policies that restrict on the amount of processed foods, sugars, and make healthy food more affordable. Or how about we implement government programs that teach children how to think healthily about food, how to cook, how to buy food. Not every child in this country is free to go shopping in a healthy manner. In my household it was you eat what's on your plate and go. If that meant hamburger helper every night, if that meant the dollar menu, I had no choice but to eat it. I have lost a lot of weight from my childhood, and being consistently told by skinny people that I'm unhealthy is demoralizing. I understood that. What I didn't understand was how to properly shop for food, how to cook, correct portion sizes, and at times I couldn't even afford food. It was a tough road of losing weight, battling an eating disorder, being poor and learning all of these things, and I'm still uncomfortable with my body in the end. So how about instead of screaming at fat people that they're unhealthy, you understand that there's an intersection of multiple factors that you are either choosing to ignore, or are completely ignorant about. This is a good thing by most metrics. All very well, but I am extremely skeptical about their ability to come up with effective policies that would help the country to become healthier, since many of the most effective things would be around taxation, shifting the cultural norms, and regulation of the food and marketing industries. Also, the average understanding of why people become obese and the best ways to tackle it are so incredibly backwards, that I'd be shocked if politicians who are not specialists in the areas of nutrition and behavioral change/management and/or treatment of eating disorders, would hold any less backwards views on the topic. Sounds noble, but I expect to just see another poor tax like the sugar tax or something else thinly disguised as caring for the people's health. That or some draconian anti-fat law shit. Well, that and shaking hands with COVID patients. It's a regular feature of almost every premiership in the UK. Major, Blair, Brown, Cameron, and May have all made commitments to chase the chubby out of British society. It's just the pretense of business as usual. I would be delighted to see the overall weight of the population come down. I'd be willing to believe this if it didn't swing so nicely into his current personal responsibility bollocks. I have been losing weight since February because of this very issue. I was slightly heavier than Boris. I've lost 20 kilograms since then. Michelle Obama just wanted kids to eat a good lunch, and they tore her up. Hope Boris has better luck. So Britain are going to implement more taxes like the sugar tax then. I always thought Boris Johnson was an idiot, but he is showing himself to be 1000% smarter than his blonde counterpart in the US. That's not saying much, but still. If he's going to focus on sugar reduction then fine. If it's going to be the usual nonsense about low fat then no. It's refreshing to have an obese person accept personal responsibility for once. So a conservative politician changed their mind on an issue once it actually affected them. Color me fucking shocked. Britain is already the most socially engineered society on earth. The entire welfare and services system has been morphed by the Tories for the past 20 years into the monster it is on the pretense of fiscal austerity, when in reality it was about getting preferred metrics, stats, and targets for the under and middle class. The Johnson government took a similar position on how to tackle COVID-19. In the early weeks, new and untested ideas about how to respond to a pandemic were employed. Essentially no lockdown, no social distancing, no isolating, people would die but in the proper time so as to not overwhelm the hospitals and the survivors would build up herd immunity. It was so unsuited to dealing with the crisis that the UK is only in the top 5 for deaths right now because of those actions. People really should be tearing his fucking door on the hinges and putting Fatty Johnson up on the flagpole. Or at least demand some kind of accountability. The fat, smug fucking idiot got a lot of people killed. Just like a Tory, it's not an issue till it happens to me. Am I the only one to whom it sounds like my corona policy failed so hard that even I got it? Far more people than necessary have died. Let's push the blame onto obesity so people forget my part in it. Like, very obviously. I got a bike through a charity scheme for people who have difficulties, whether monetary or mental problems, who wish to get out and about more, and damn I love it. So glad I got it. The UK needs more of these charity schemes. The city I live in got about 100 bikes to lend out at the start, now it has maybe 700. My city has an average population of 40-60k, so it's barely a city but still lol. I'm just glad our exercise limit has been removed so I can go out on it again. Could only take my dog out for a walk for my one-a-day exercise, so couldn't ride it. He's blaming obesity in order to hide his government's mishandling of the viruses. History shows us that he is not an honest person. What about blaming his severe bout of coronavirus on the party he leads, totally failing on its governmental responsibilities? Obesity is a massive problem globally, especially in the West. Good luck, Boris. 26% of patients who died from COVID-19 also had diabetes. It doesn't get much more clear than that. I bet the percentage was even higher for the younger people who died. We tried to give kids healthier lunches in the US, they demanded we feed them garbage again. Yes, he had a bad case of the disease because he was fat, not because he is also old, and ignored every fucking warning by the science community to wear face masks and practice social distancing. Conservatives, fuck everyone else until an issue directly affects them. Tackling obesity through education about the risks is fine, but adults should be able to choose what they eat. Hopefully he won't turn into a born-again prohibitionist. For a guy who can't keep track of how many children he has, complaining about a nanny state seems a bit rich.